Alright guys, what is going on today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm talking about Boruto chapter 64.
Now, I know I am a bit late with this chapter, but I'm here now, so let's dive into this.
So we know this chapter begins right after chapter 63 where Boruto is fighting Code, and now Boruto is using Momoshiki's full power to fight Code. Now what's going on here is Code is actually being overwhelmed by Boruto, since Boruto is using his shadow clones on top of the full karma power of Momoshiki to fight Code. Now we know Code is not going to kill Boruto. Code is more on the defense than he is on the offense, so he's willing to take all the punches and he will hit Boruto here and there, but he's not fully going to kill him since he needs him to feed him to the tree. So then Code starts getting pushed back and by Boruto's shadow clones, which his shadow clones are kind of weird though when you look at them. Only the original has the karma while the other 4 shadow clones don't. Now I think this is similar back to Naruto Shippuden in the war arc when Naruto had the Truth Seeker orbs, and the Truth Seeker orbs were only on the original. Now Naruto did transfer them to other clones and everything, but I don't think the same rule applies to the karma where Boruto can transfer the karma onto another clone, since it looks like it infects the host body and stays on the host body. So then Code is getting whipped left and right and he's actually being pushed back by Boruto, and then even Kawaki notices that Boruto's power is more than usual, and he says, I don't get it though. He's like, it's still Boruto who's in control when he'd managed to. So I think Kawaki knows that this is the upgraded form of the karma that Boruto was using back in chapter 43 and chapter 54 when both times Momoshiki appeared. So then Ida tells Code saying that these are the effects of Amado's pills, and basically the pills are keeping Momoshiki at bay while Boruto has learned to channel Momoshiki's power. So if my theory from a while ago is correct, that if Boruto loses his right eye, then when Boruto uses his karma and opens his right eye, he's actually using Momoshiki's Byakugan in chapter 1. Now that's just a theory, alright? Nothing's confirmed on that. But if Boruto is able to channel Momoshiki's power and he's able to manifest Momoshiki's Byakugan right now, then I think back in chapter 1, I think Boruto uses Momoshiki's eye there. Since Boruto right now, he's channeling Momoshiki's power. And in that chapter, when Boruto awakens the karma and he decides to use it, is when he opens his right eye. But before those events, his right eye is closed. So that means his right eye only appears when he uses Momoshiki's power, and thus giving him the Byakugan, Jogen, whichever eye he's gonna get in the future, it's gonna awaken along with him using Momoshiki's power. So Ida tells Code that he is able to channel Momoshiki's power without getting his mind taken over. So every time Boruto was getting controlled, he had his mind taken over until Boruto woke up.
So then it cuts to Naruto and Ino talking,
and Naruto is telling Ino to search for Boruto's chakra instead of Kawaki's, since Kawaki hit his chakra. And Naruto right now is searching for Boruto, which is why I believe he has the clones out, because he is searching for their chakra. And then he locates Boruto's chakra and tells Ino and everybody to track onto it. But what's weird here is Naruto is actually gathering Sage chakra. Now what I don't get is, why is Naruto only using 2 clones? Well, he should be using more than 2, because back then Kurama was interfering with Naruto's Sage mode. Well, here Naruto doesn't have Kurama anymore, so he should be able to use more clones to gather more Sage energy. Since back then, this is when Naruto was 16 years old, he had a limit of 2 shadow clones getting Sage. Well, here he's a bit older, so he should be able to put out more. So then Shikamaru arrives and he tells Naruto that he's not letting him do this alone. He said he's going with him since Sai is on guard duty for Amado and Sasuke is tracking Code. But the thing is, I don't know where Sasuke is for him to track Code, because he was just seen outside the village walls a couple of chapters ago, and from the looks of it, all these events are back to back. So Sasuke shouldn't be that far off from the village if he notices that Boruto's chakra changes, and maybe even knows there's another chakra nearby. So then Shikamaru's like, yo, I'm gonna help you since you don't have Kurama anymore. And he's like, yo, we're gonna do this together. So then Hinata comes out of the house and Hinata's like, I'm gonna go with you. Naruto tells her, no, stay here and watch over Himawari. Now I understand what Naruto is saying here. Naruto is basically telling Hinata that if anything happens to him, at least Himawari will have one parent left. And at least Himawari will have her mom if Naruto does end up dying. I remember reading a post on Twitter or something like that, somebody saying Kishimoto is misogynist because he told Hinata to stay at home. I don't understand that thinking of whoever that was. Bro, Naruto is the Hokage. He's the strongest person of the village. It's his job as the head of the village to go fight one of the strongest enemies. And I understand his reasoning. He's basically telling his wife to take care of their kid in case he ends up dying. Because if both of them go there and both of them die, who's going to take care of their kid afterwards? He doesn't want a repeat of himself happening where he didn't have both parents. So I don't understand what somebody was going off on that. There's nothing going on here with Naruto saying anything bad towards Hinata. He's just telling her to chill at home in case something happens and he won't make it back. At least Himawari will have her mom. Then Shikamaru tells her, he's like, I know how you feel, but he tells Hinata, please don't insist on coming. Which he is right though, because anyone who's going is prepared to die. Same goes with Shikamaru, everybody, all the ninjas, everybody that are gonna come running in, they are all prepared to die for a Jigen type threat. Since we've seen Lee and them all get murked by Ishiki not that long ago, now this is a Jigen level threat. You think anybody else is gonna be able to fight Code besides Naruto, Kawaki, Boruto, and Sasuke? Well, Kawaki's a bit of a write-off. I would say Boruto in his karma form, and maybe Sasuke and Naruto. And then Himawari tells Naruto that, will you come back safely with Big Bro and Kawaki? What's weird here is Shikamaru's little sweat. Shikamaru knows that this could be a serious fight where Naruto could potentially die. And even Hinata is worried. And then Naruto's not worried though. Naruto's like, of course, have you forgotten who your dad is? Bro, this is Naruto, bro. You think this guy's gonna die, bro? Because of this man, both series are alive right now. This is the man who saved the world, bro. You think this man's gonna go down? This is Naruto, bro. This is the same guy who fought Sasuke, who was amped up like crazy, fought Kaguya, fought Madara and everything, even Obito, bro. You're telling me this guy's gonna die? Nah. This guy ran all 3 series from Naruto to Shippuden, and now he's in Boruto. He ain't gonna die, alright? Simple as that. But it does look like they are hinting something that Naruto might possibly die, because Code does want to kill Naruto and Sasuke. Those are his 2 targets that he's gonna kill. And he did say that he could take them one-on-one, but he can't take them if both of them get there. So I think Naruto is gonna fight Code, but then Sasuke is going to arrive. So then Hinata grabs her chest and she's like, Naruto, Boruto, Kawaki, please stay safe. So then it gets back to Code. Boruto tries absorbing the belts, but he can't, and Kawaki tells him that those belts are basically infused with Code's blood. So basically those belts are something that can't be absorbed by the karma. So then Kawaki mentions to Boruto, he's like, more importantly, what's going on with you? Where did Momoshiki go? Boruto's like, I don't know if this is a side effect of the meds or not. And he's like, it's never happened before. Kawaki's like, it's unreliable. You better not suddenly lose control. Boruto is like, worry later for now. Now I think this is a possible foreshadow to the end of this chapter and to next chapter that Boruto does lose control. He sees that Boruto's form looks like Borushiki, who he saw before during the Boro fight and the Ishiki fight. Well, here Boruto is in control of that form. So I think they're foreshadowing that Boruto does lose control, since Kawaki says you better not suddenly lose control, which I think at the end when he collapses is when Momoshiki's actually trying to come out. So then Boruto tells Kawaki, he's like, let's focus on taking Code down. And then Code mentions that whether it's the effects of those pills or not, he's like, you won't be able to get rid of Momoshiki. You're still gonna be Otsutsuki now and forever. And then Boruto questions, how does he know about the meds? So then Code tells him, not that it matters to me whether you're Boruto or Momoshiki, as long as you're able to be fed to the tree, he doesn't care. And he's like, there's no quality problems with you. He's like, you'll be a top-notch sacrifice. And Boruto's like, no thanks, I'm not trying to be fed to a tree. So then Code tells him that the completion of your Otsutsuki-fication is no longer an issue, or if, but when. He's like, I'll be back for you once you reach peak ripeness. Until then, he's gonna take Kawaki. Now this goes back to my previous theories in my previous videos where I said if Boruto gets taken by Code or he leaves with Code, he will wait for Boruto to reach perfect ripeness and feed him to the tree. If he takes Boruto prisoner at the end of next chapter where Boruto is in shock and his body can't move, he'll throw this guy in a prison, let him sit there until Momoshiki's takeover is fully done, then he'll feed him to the tree. I remember some people saying, but why would Code wait? He wants to kill Naruto and Sasuke. If he has the item to feed to the tree, he's not stressed then. He already completed his biggest objective. So there's a possibility of Code either taking Boruto or Boruto joins him. There's one of the 2 possibilities for that. We'll see what happens in the future chapters. That is a theory then again, and it's not confirmed. So then Code tries taking Kawaki, and then Code tells Boruto, it's been fun, I'll see you soon. And then Kawaki uses a shadow clone and tries attacking Code. Code grabs the shadow clone and Boruto then tries using his Rasengan. And then Code teleports into his belt. Code then tells Kawaki saying that, I thought you wanted to come with me. Kawaki's like, don't get the wrong idea. Everything I've done and to do will be for the 7th Hokage. And Boruto's like, exactly. And he's like, if we take you down now, that would be the fastest and easiest. Now, this scene here for Kawaki is really important because Kawaki says, everything I've done and do will be all for Lord 7th. So that means everything he does in the future will be for Naruto. Him destroying the village, him saving Naruto from Code, who gets maybe stronger in the future, and he tries coming for Naruto. Kawaki will do all these things to make sure Naruto stays alive. So then Code tells him, fine, let me make this clear. I'm starting to get pissed off at both of you. So in the leaks, it says said Code says he hates both of them. I don't think Code hates both of them. I think he only hates Kawaki. I think he does still worship Boruto because Boruto is basically a living Otsutsuki in front of him. So if my theory is correct from last chapter, that if Code does take Boruto, he might train him on how to use the karma. Since he looks up to the Otsutsukis, he might show Boruto on how to control Momoshiki so to stop his suffering. Since Boruto will be somebody special to Code in terms of him being an Otsutsuki. So then Code says, fine, let me make this clear. It'll go better for you if you just obey me. Now this goes back to the theory again. If Boruto does obey Code and Code teaches him the ways, or Code doesn't attack the village and Boruto sacrifices himself as the medium for both the Leaf and their side, then he will follow Code's rule. Code says, let me make this clear. It'll be better for you if you just obey me. So he's telling Boruto and Kawaki that if you obey him, nothing will befall them. In terms of they won't get hurt, you won't have to kill them, anything like that. But then Boruto says, is that all you gotta say? Then come, let's settle this. Alright, so on to the next screen. Naruto in his Sage mode seems to have found Boruto. And he says Boruto is 40 clicks to the north. And he's like, there's someone else there whose chakra he doesn't recognize. Shikamaru says, it's a Code. And then he tells Ino, and then Ino's like, we know where Boruto is. Everyone's heading there now. And then Naruto, being in his Sage mode, says, alright, let's go. And then Shikamaru says, Naruto, that Sage mode of yours, you can't sustain it that long, right? He's like, how long do you think? Naruto tells Shikamaru, he's like, don't worry. He's like, I can hold it quite a bit longer than before. He's like, call it the wisdom of age. And then Shikamaru tells Naruto, he's like, don't overdo it. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know. And then these two head out to go where Boruto, Kawaki, and Code are. Now, what I don't get is, doesn't Shikamaru understand that Naruto used Sage mode before as well, and that now he's a bit older, he should be stronger and more good at using Sage mode? So I'm kind of confused by Shikamaru's wording. Like, are they saying that Naruto's been so heavily nerfed because he lost Kurama that he can't even hold Sage mode? I find that kind of bold, to be honest. Like, back in Shippuden, Naruto was 16, and now he's double the age of Shippuden. He should be able to hold more Shadow Clones. He should be able to hold Sage mode for much longer than Shippuden, and he shouldn't have an issue with Sage mode. On top of that, Naruto is using regular Sage mode. He's not even using the Sage of Sixth Path. I'm wondering why Naruto is using regular Sage mode and not Sage of Sixth Path mode, which kind of wonders me though. Is like, did Naruto completely lose the Sixth Path powers or not? It's hard to tell. So then getting on to the next scene, it's Boruto fighting Code, and he gives him a quick 1-2 left and right, and then Boruto activates the Vanishing Rasengan, and then Code literally teleports before it can hit him. He jumps in his belt and boom, comes back out. So then Code is like, damn, so that's the Vanishing Rasengan. Man's like, yo, if I got hit by that, jeez. He would have caught a quick 1-2 like Sasuke back in chapter 54. So then Ida tells Code, she's like, yo, stop screwing around, you idiot. And then you see Damon still knocked out on Ida. And then Boruto is like, alright, I guess cheap tricks won't work. Guess we're gonna have to go all out. What does he mean by going all out? Like, what attack is he gonna use to go all out is what I'm wondering. Like, he can't use Odama Rasengan. He doesn't have the chakra reserves for that. So I am a bit lost on words on what Boruto meant by that. So does that mean he's gonna use everything in his power from the super compressed Rasengan to the wind Rasengan and all those? Because I know he has the power of Momoshiki right now, but what else can he do? Unless Boruto got some new abilities that we haven't seen yet and it might be shown in the anime later, that could be a possibility of him saying, I guess we're gonna go all out. Because when Naruto and Sasuke went all out against Jigen, it wasn't all out. I know Jigen's abilities are OP as fuck, but them saying they're going all out, that was cap. But then again, this is Kishimoto's writing now. It could be much different than Kodachi's writing previously. So then Boruto falls to his right side. From the looks of it, it looks like he loses all power in his right side except his right leg. Because what's weird is it shows Boruto's right side is falling first and his arm looks like he can't even move it. It's like Boruto is having a stroke. Boruto then grabs his chest and he falls to his right side. Kawaki runs to Boruto and you see Boruto just screaming on the ground. So what can this mean? I think that is Boruto fighting against Momoshiki and it's the pills actually affecting Boruto. So what I think is, I think the pills affect anything that is Otsutsuki-fied. So for example, if the pills are supposed to suppress Momoshiki and Boruto is using Momoshiki's powers, that means the pills are going to start hurting Boruto, who is using Momoshiki's powers. So I think that's why Boruto's right side collapses, because the pills are affecting anything that is Otsutsuki and that is not the human bodies. The other being that Boruto is actually fighting Momoshiki and that Boruto actually went low on chakra. Now I know this is a far-fetch, but I think Boruto fighting Code, he used much more chakra than he should have, and because he's not used to using this karma power, he might have gone low on chakra, which is where Kawaki's words come into play, saying that I don't want you losing control, and Momoshiki appears. So I think that's what it was foreshadowing to, is that when Boruto collapses, he's actually low on chakra and Momoshiki comes out. Because we know Momoshiki appears when Boruto runs low on chakra. So I think that's what it was, and the right side is basically Momoshiki taking control. Since Boruto falls to his right side, so he's lost all power on his right side. Meaning now Momoshiki is regaining consciousness and he may come out. So that was it for this chapter. We gotta see how Naruto plays this out and how he will approach there. I think Sasuke and Naruto and Shikamaru are gonna approach. There's gonna be a lot more ninja out there, and I think Momoshiki is going to appear. So that's what I think with analyzing this chapter. But now getting on to the theories, I have a couple of theories I want to talk about. Alright, so my predictions for chapter 65 to 66 are gonna be like this. Naruto and Shikamaru are gonna get there and they're gonna see Code. Now Kawaki's gonna run up to Boruto to see if he's okay. At this moment, Code decides two things. First is to either take Boruto, whose body is in shock right now and who's an easy bait, or take Kawaki. From the looks of it, it looks like Code may leave Boruto alone unless Ida changes her mind last second. But he's gonna try taking Kawaki, and I think this is when Naruto pulls out and blasts Code away. Or we're gonna see Shikamaru pull up and he's gonna use Shadow Possession Jutsu and capture him. Now I wonder how that would work with Code's belt, if Code could just sink right into his belt if he gets Shadow Possessioned. So then a fight between Shikamaru, Naruto, and Code is going to break out while every other shinobi gets there. Now that's just the regular stuff that's gonna happen. They're all gonna fight. But what I'm predicting, now there's two ways this is gonna go. First, Naruto is gonna get his ass whooped. Alright, I'm talking Naruto's gonna get his ass whooped. Code wants to kill Naruto, but Naruto is not alone. He's gonna be with Shikamaru.
Shikamaru can help him out.
And Code did say he could take Naruto alone, but if it's Sasuke and Naruto, then he won't be able to take him. Shikamaru could be a 50-50. If Code goes through his belts or throws a belt on Shikamaru, one slice and this guy's done. Just as we've seen in chapter 55, when Code went to Boro's hideout, he killed those guards really easily. He literally shoved his claw through their chest and he sliced the guy's neck. So why can't he then just kill Shikamaru that easily? That's a possibility. Where he kills Shikamaru, Shikamaru's gonna be done. Then he moves on to Naruto. Him and Naruto are basically gonna go at it. But then Naruto will get his ass whooped and he will be on the verge of death. Now either Kawaki will try jumping in to save Naruto, or we'll see Boruto pull up. And Boruto controlling Momoshiki, he's gonna try forcing his body to move where Naruto is to save his dad. That's how I see one possibility happening. I don't think Sasuke is gonna pull up yet. I think Sasuke is gonna be later down the line. Especially if Sasuke is outside the village or whatever hunting for Code, then no way he's in the village. But if Sasuke does happen to get there, this is how that would play out. If Sasuke gets there, then Code will see that he's not a match against Naruto and Sasuke. Where at that point, if Boruto is still on the ground and he's unconscious, he might take Boruto instead of Kawaki. Since Kawaki will be behind Naruto and Sasuke and maybe even a dead Shikamaru, he'll see that he'll take Boruto instead of Kawaki. And he'll give Ida Boruto and be like, just deal with this instead. Because the way it is, Ida doesn't mind either of them. But she said she prefers Kawaki more. But I guess if Code gives her Boruto, she might just take Boruto instead. And then this will lead to Kawaki getting his karma through Amato. Because no way Kawaki's gonna get taken now because he needs to get the karma through Amato. There's a reason why they kept building up on 2 or 3 chapters with Kawaki thinking about Amato's words saying, I could remanufacture you a karma. So the only option I see is Kawaki getting a karma through Amato, but he will not get taken. It will be somebody else who gets taken from Boruto to someone else. Now who I could see being taken, for example, is if Naruto gets taken, then Boruto could be like, alright, trade me for him. And I think Code will allow something like that. And the reason he will allow it is because Boruto is a potential sacrifice. He looks up to the Otsutsuki, and if he lets Boruto live and he feeds Kawaki to the tree, he could give Boruto to Ida. So it's a win-win situation on all 3 fronts for Code. So Boruto will either trade himself in or he'll get captured. And this goes back to my previous theory from last chapter. Now this is one theory of what might happen. The second theory being that Sarada follows Naruto and Shikamaru. And I think Sarada will appear in chapter 65 and 66. The reason I say that is because the whole village was in shambles. When Naruto told Ino to keep the whole village on lockdown and to make sure everyone's prepared and everything, I'm pretty sure Sakura was awake and she got the message as well. And at that time, Sarada was home and she saw that Sakura was in a panic. And maybe even Sakura is getting ready to go into battle to follow Naruto to where he is. Because they said all the shinobi are heading to Boruto's location, so why wouldn't Sakura be there? She's the medical ninja. She can heal anybody on the battlefield real quick. So if Sarada knows that Sakura is going, she knows that something is wrong. And since we know it's nighttime, we know Sarada is awake along with Sakura if Himawari is awake and Hinata are awake. Since Sakura is the head of the medic department, she would most likely be awake because she knows there's a Jigen-sized threat coming. So there's two ways on Sarada will get to Boruto. First being that she'll follow Naruto and Shikamaru and get to where Boruto is. The second being that Sarada will go to Mitsuki and be like, something is wrong. She'll go to Boruto's house and see Boruto's not there. She'll see that something is wrong, and then she'll go to Mitsuki. Mitsuki has the scent of everybody, so he knows where Boruto is. You'll basically smell his way to him. And Sarada and Mitsuki will get there just in time before Boruto gets taken by Code. Now what will happen is, if Boruto does turn into Momoshiki at that point in time, I think Sarada will be the one to stop him. Sarada will be the one who cuts Boruto's eye. From what I see is that Momoshiki might appear next chapter or the chapter after, as Boruto collapsed on the ground and his whole right side was basically tweaking. And that could be the side effects of the medication, or it's possibility that Boruto ran low on chakra and Momoshiki appears, as Kawaki mentions that he doesn't want Boruto to lose control and Momoshiki appears. So Momoshiki will basically hurt everybody from maybe Code to Naruto, and if Sasuke gets there. And it's a possibility that Momoshiki is the one who kills Shikamaru, which is Naruto's second in command, which may lead Shikadai to hating Boruto in the future. Even though it's not Boruto's fault, I think he might hate Boruto for that. I know it's a bit out of Shikadai's character, but if you look at it, this is Shikadai's dad. So no matter how you look at it, he may look at Boruto as an enemy who's potentially dangerous and could lose control any minute. Sarada, on the other hand, Sasuke got his eye stabbed. She knew Boruto was not the one who did it. She's more understanding. She's more closer to Boruto like that. So if Momoshiki appears and everything breaks out, Sarada gets there, and I think Boruto will tell Sarada to cut his right eye, or Sarada herself will cut his right eye. Now the reason why I say she will be the one to cut it is because of last episode, episode 225, when Sasuke tells Sarada that if Boruto changes and becomes somebody else, she will have to be the one to take him down. And she finds a resolve and she agrees with it. Now I know that is anime canon. Now the thing with the anime canon is that it always cross-references with the manga. For example, during chapter 55-56, and when we're in the beginning of the year, when the Kawaki arc first started, they were building up on Code a little bit. For no reason at the time, they were giving Code some sort of development, and then we found out when chapter 55 released that Code was basically the new enemy. So they built up on Code. So this episode that just came by, episode 225, is going to relate to chapter 65 to 66, or maybe even 67. So Sarada accepting Sasuke's request that if Boruto does change into somebody else, she will have to take him down. And Sasuke tells her that she'll have to be prepared for it. And I think this will be the perfect opportunity, since the anime seems to be hinting that it will come down to Sarada. Now, in my opinion, this does go into Sarada's relationship with Boruto. She does like Boruto. In my opinion, I'm Borusara, by the way. So in my opinion, she does like Boruto, and basically the way it's going to stop him is going to be love. I'm going to be honest. She will do everything in her power to stop Boruto from transforming, because at this moment, if Boruto is unconscious, or he is conscious but doesn't have control over his body, and Sarada will be the only one there,
Boruto may tell her to stop him.
And she will give him the eye cut to stop Momoshiki's transformation, and maybe even revert Momoshiki back to his sleep, and then Boruto will be in control of his body. Like I said, the biggest reason why I say that is because Sasuke tells Sarada to take care of Boruto if he ever transforms, and he hints her with the kunai. Now, this could be some Momoshiki type thing in the anime where Sasuke and Boruto took out Momoshiki's Rinnegan, Momoshiki took out Sasuke's Rinnegan, and now Sasuke tells Sarada to take out Momoshiki's Byakugan. It's weird how that would work, but I think that might be a possibility. And the thing about Sarada, she has a resolve to do it. She says that during the Chocho fight that she has a resolve and she'll go through with it if she needs to take down Boruto. And what I think at this moment, if Boruto gets taken over and Sarada comes down to this dark decision that she has to kill somebody close to her, even somebody she actually likes and is really dear to her, it may awaken the Jogen, since Sarada will be full of negative emotion. And the Jogen usually appears on negative emotions, since the director of the new arc said that the Jogen is similar to Naruto's sense of negative emotion. But in this, the Jogen will spawn. And while Boruto's Jogen may spawn and he may get his right eye cut, at the same time, Sarada may get her third Tomo or even get the Mangekyo Sharingan. Since in the anime, it did say that to gain the Mangekyo Sharingan, you'll have to part ways with somebody. So if Sarada, in her negative emotion, knows she has to kill Boruto, it might awaken her Mangekyo Sharingan in that situation. Now, like I said, for Sarada, it's going to be much different than every other Uchiha. That's how they're following it in Boruto. She's unlocking her Tomos, everything out of love instead of hatred. So the person she loves, she has to take out. That'll basically affect her eyes and maybe even awaken her Mangekyo or third Tomo.
So to summarize this all up,
so Code is not going to attack Boryushiki. It'll be Boryushiki fighting everybody. Then it'll come down to Sarada. She'll be the one to cut Boruto's right eye. and then that'll stop Momoshiki from coming out, and then Boruto's body will be in shock. At this moment, I think Code will take Boruto in his belt, and boom, he's gone, and he'll leave Kawaki behind. That's what I think is gonna happen in the next few chapters to come. I think Sarada and Mitsuki are gonna be the ones to get there, and I think Mitsuki might fight Code in Sage mode for all we know to get the most power, and Sarada might fight Boruto to bring him back, since she is the closest person to his heart. Another reason why I say it will be Sarada who will cut Boruto's blue eyes is because in the manga, when Sarada mentions Boruto's blue eyes, Boruto has a flashback of Momoshiki saying those blue eyes will eventually take everything away from you. And what's weird is Sarada is the one who mentions it, and Boruto is in a shock. She's the only one who mentions his blue eyes. So for all we know, she may be the one to cut his blue eyes. So that's why I think on my theory of what might happen in the next chapters to come. Now, I think the anime will expand more on this. In this scene, when everybody is out trying to find Boruto, it might be similar to Minato, Kushina, and the Nine Tails when Itachi was carrying baby Sasuke, and Itachi's like, I feel a really bad aura. It could be the same thing here, where Sarada feels a really bad sense that something wrong is going to happen. Since it is at nighttime, the Nine Tails, they attack at night, the moon was out. In this, it's the same thing. It's nighttime, and the anime may give a moon as well. And Sarada will know something is wrong, and then she may go check on Boruto. She'll see that he's not there, and then she'll go to Mitsuki, and Mitsuki and her will go find Boruto. Because the way Sarada's gonna get alerted is obviously through Sakura. So I know the anime is going to expand more on that. And I think in the anime, this might be like a Sasuke retrieval arc. We might get Kiba, we might get Rock Lee and Tenten, all of them to go along with Naruto and Shikamaru. Because I know the manga is a bit shorter and they don't have too many panels to draw too much on. So they gotta keep everything main story. I think the anime might give it a bigger picture and have more people and more Jonin come to go fight Code, which I could see happening. These guys think Code is the last threat, so they all might go all out on trying to take down Code. And I think that's how the anime is going to follow it. Now, this is just a random quick thing I want to add. I think Amato's Cyborg might join the picture soon enough if Naruto and Shikamaru get taken down and Sasuke's not there. And if Sarada and them don't pull up, then most likely the Cyborg Amato made is going to come and save them. And at this point, he might save Naruto, Shikamaru, Kawaki, and maybe Boruto. But there's a possibility I think the Cyborg will only pick up the 3 and leave Boruto behind, since he might see that Momoshiki is in control and he'd rather leave Momoshiki to Code. And I think at this point, Code and Momoshiki join hands and be like, yo, let's run this together. Again, this is all theory. Nothing is confirmed. This is how I think it might happen. I think most likely Sarada is going to come, and I think she will be the one who cuts Boruto's eye. It might not be now. It might be in the future somewhere. It might be even in the time skip that she cuts Boruto's eye, since Sasuke did give her the mission to take down Boruto. Yes, Sarada is not as strong as Boruto, but if Boruto does not use karma, then I think they're equal in strength. Sarada is pretty OP, alright? Y'all say she's weak, but she's not weak, bro. Sarada is actually pretty strong, and if she unlocks the 3rd Tomo, she'll be able to keep up to Boruto.
She's been training herself and her Chidori, and along with her other abilities.
She's the one who took out Boro when he was attacking too. So this is what I think. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is a bit of a long video. Like I said, everything is a theory. This is how I think it's going to go down. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.